Hi, my name's Adam. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to talk about maybe you're ready to retire, but you just don't know it. And I'm going to share our planning software with you today to go through a couple examples. And why I'm creating a video about this is because it's been happening a lot lately where we meet with people and it goes one of two ways. One way is people say, I want to retire in 2 years. Here's how much I need. Here's what I currently have. And when we map out the plan, we show them, look, like that's great that you want to retire in 2 years, which is a psychological decision, but the financial piece of it, you could actually retire now. And so it brings kind of light to, okay, well, I could actually pull the trigger now versus waiting 2 more years, but am I ready to retire? So again, there's always the financial part of it and the psychological part of it. The second thing we've been running into a lot lately is people hire us to put a financial plan together for them. We map it out. And I always hate saying this, but I'll say, you know what, you could have retired 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Like you didn't have to work this long. And most of the time they don't want to hear that because they had no idea. At least you can retire now, like you're on track, but we could have retired a few years ago. So let me go through kind of what this looks like, how it's structured, and why it's important to get a plan in place typically about 5 to 10 years before retirement. The reason you don't want to wait just a year before, just slightly before, is because you maybe could have retired a few years ago, but you just have no idea. So here you can see our financial planning software, and we're looking at Dave and Ruth YouTube, who is a client that came in that said, look, we're 58 years old, we've built some assets, and we're looking to retire in a couple of years at the age of 60. And so when we look at their assets here, you can see here, Dave has an RSP worth 400, a TFSA worth 100,000, and they have a joint non-registered account worth 100,000 as well, which they just started with, so it has a $100,000 cost base. Ruth, same thing on her side, 400 RSP, 100,000 TFSA, and the joint non-registered account. When we go into the planning, what we see here is that they've asked for retirement in 2 years, and they've also asked for $60,000 to $65,000 of income after tax and adjusted for inflation. When we put all their information into the system, we can see the next 2 years they're running off about that same mark, about 75,000, a little bit more than that. And then when they retire in 2 years, they have $71,705. So when we sit down with them and say, look, based on what you're doing and where you're going, you definitely have enough to retire. There's enough money here to retire, so over $71,000, but you only need 60 to 65. So maybe we can retire earlier. And again, in this plan, they don't have any savings from now for the next 2 years. So it's just the current assets that you have that are accumulating, growing hopefully for the next 2 years, and then you're living off that. What happens if we pull the pin now and hit retirement button now? So here's that scenario. This is showing retirement now. Basically it started 2023, pulling the pin 2 years earlier than they thought, and you can see their income comes in at $63,300. Again, the assets are the same here. We've just started retirement 2 years earlier. Now, this is the importance of having a clear financial plan in place, because if they came to us at age 60, just slightly before they wanted to retire, and it wasn't so much can we retire, it's just we're retiring, how do we kind of map everything out? Which we can do, and a lot of times that's what we're doing for people. It's just how do we map out tax strategy and income strategy within their retirement, but they know their retirement date. It's in a month, it's in 5 months, whatever it is, typically quite soon. Because Dave and Ruth came to us a couple years before retirement, we showed them that, look, retirement might be an option today, or maybe in 6 months from now. You want 60 to 65,000. We're mapping out 63,000. You know, if you want to get closer to 65, let's work for 6 more months and see what that looks like and map that out. Not many people don't like hearing that they can retire early, right? Most people, if you said, look, you can actually retire now, not in 2 years, majority of us would say, perfect, sounds good. Now, you may not be psychologically or mentally ready to retire, but you can start gearing down. It might be 6 months versus 2 years, and find something to keep you busy past that. Again, the psychological side is a big piece of it. I'm not trying to put that aside, but I think step one is financial. Like, when can I financially retire? And then from there, take the step of the psychological side of like, when am I emotionally ready to retire? Because a lot of you love what you do. You get a lot of fulfillment from your job or the people around you at work. So just walking away from that isn't as easy as possible. Now, a lot of you hate your job and you want to get away from your coworkers as fast as possible. So when you get news like this, you know, you hand in your letter that day and you're out of there. So you definitely get both sides of it. But the importance of creating a plan early, again, typically 5 to 10 years. I think the sweet spot's kind of 5 years plus or minus a few years. If you can do that, it's going to set you up for retirement better. And there's a few things here. It's A, it'll show you maybe you can retire earlier than you expected. And B, maybe you can retire later if you want to hit your goals. But what can you change between now and your hopeful retirement date? What are the actions that you can change to get back on track? Again, if you reach out to us and we put a plan together for you and your retirement date's in 2 months, a lot of retirement tax planning we can do for you within your retirement years. But I can't help you do things from now to retirement because it's only 2 months and like drastically change the plan. Whereas if we have 5 years or longer, we can actually start implementing change within your current actions to create more wealth and tax strategy from now to retirement. So it's kind of a two-phase plan. I think the other piece of this too is we can always work longer to have more money and more money in retirement, right? We can always work another year, save a bit more money, push retirement longer, and have more money. But there has to be a cutoff point. And this is a conversation I have with clients all the time, is saying, look, Dave and Ruth, you guys are ready to retire financially. You can keep working if you want to, again, psychological side of it, but start working towards an end date and pick that date and stick strong to it. Again, you can always work longer to have more money. My in-laws did this, right? I think they set 3, maybe 4 retirement dates because they were building a house right when they were kind of hitting the retirement point, and that got delayed and things came up. And it's like, well, let's just work a bit longer and then, we can do this with the house and we can do that. And it gave more options, which is great. It's a decision that they came together on and worked on. And eventually they came to a finalized retirement date, which is a while ago now, and they're enjoying retirement. I think for a lot of you, you have, I can work 1 more year and it adds this much to my retirement. But if you're never going to spend that, then are you wasting a year of your go-go years of retirement to build more retirement nest egg that you're never going to need? And again, you have to have a good plan in place to understand if that year of working makes a difference or not. For a lot of you, you need it. For a lot of you, though, you don't need it. And so this is why putting something together makes sense. Again, what I want for each one of you viewers is to know when you can retire, how much, and how to do it efficiently. Sure, maybe you have a retirement date that's really close and you need some structure. We can help you out there. But if you're about 5 years from retirement and really aren't sure what this all looks like, reach out to our office. We'd love to help you out. You can go to parallelwealth.com/planning. There's all the information on the fee-for-service financial planning services that we offer. And basically what we do at a high level is we grab all your information, we build out a customized retirement plan for you. And again, this isn't just taking your information and putting it into software and hitting generate. We spend many, many hours kind of grinding at the numbers, the tax numbers. What about if we do this or change this or add this or take this at a different time? We spend a lot of time playing in the software to create the best situation for you. How do we maximize your income, minimize your taxes? If you have estate goals, retirement goals, all these things come into the plan. And then we go through it with you. We make sure you understand the plan, what actions you have to take, and then we have a full kind of delivery and implementation package for you to help you deliver the plan. Again, we can create a wonderful plan for you, but it's not worth the paper it's written on if you don't know how to follow through with it. So we give you all the implementation tools and everything that you need to actually implement your plan. We do everything online. We help Canadians across the country. So if this is you, if you're looking for I'm getting close to retirement and I really have no idea what it's about. I don't know how to draw down my accounts, how to create tax efficiency. And for the next 5 years to retirement, I think I'm saving in the right spots, but I really don't know. If that's you, you need to make a change. Reach out to our office. If you have a financial planner that can do a really good financial plan, reach out to them. Again, we'd love to help you, but if you have someone in your world that can help you with this stuff, reach out to them. Ask them to put that plan together and figure out what that looks like. So again, you might be able to retire now and you don't even know. Maybe you thought retirement was in 2 or 3 years from now, but it could be January 1st of 2023 or shortly after. So you want to figure that out. You don't want to work longer than you have to if you don't want to. Again, some of you want to work longer, most of you don't. So thank you for joining us in this video. I hope this helped out. I hope it helps you take action, whether it's with your financial planner, reach out to us or another fee-for-service advisor to get a proper plan in place. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the next one.